Entaratasda, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kaelaris, and today I'm going to be bringing you something that's fresh on my mind. It was a ladder game between Surm, the red Zerg in the top right corner, and myself, the blue Protoss in the bottom left corner. And again, yes, I wanted to bring this as quickly as possible because it is fresh on my mind, and I sort of wanted to do an analysis of it. There was a probe misrallied there. I wanted to do it like a analysis of it and go through my thought process whilst in this game, because this was a pretty reaction-based game. It was kind of like I saw what was going on and I reacted to it in probably the best ways that I could have done to a certain degree. So I'll talk you through it and we shall see what happens. So let's get that production tab open. Hey, watch. Wrong one. Oh my god, I need to... Yeah, there we go, that'll do. Okay, so... I must mention before anything does go on, I do get Psylocked once or twice in this game. I'm not the best of players. I am rank 1 diamond with like 500 points or something, which is ridiculous. It's like, I don't know, 20th in EU or something. And everybody I play is Masters. This guy is Masters, like rank 20 Masters. And I beat them all. And I'm not got my promotion yet. I'm so angry. So... First off, going into this game or whatever, I was getting my gateway pretty late as I wanted to have a look around his base, and I had an inkling that he was going to go for an expansion first. So we do see this expansion going down, and as soon as I see that going down, I decided to not get my gateway first and get Forge. Now, for the most part, I really don't advise going Forge first. It can be alright, especially if you're against this, but you really need that gateway down, like at 12 or 13, which I didn't put the gateway down at 12 or 13, just in case you don't scout the base in time, and you see something like, I don't know, a 7 pool or something like that. That's bad. So, as you can see, I am going to be blocking off this entrance here. I prefer, if I'm trying to cannon an expo, I prefer to block off as opposed to build in the mineral line, simply because if you're building in the mineral line, they have a much easier job of delaying it. This method does cost a bit more, but if you really want that cancelled hatch, if you really want that hatch to be cancelled, then I personally prefer this method. So I do cancel that cannon, and normally I actually keep a cannon there, so I am actually going back to put another cannon down. I don't know why I cancelled, and I did lose that probe, which is a bit bad, but I prefer having that cannon there because it just makes their job a little bit harder actually breaking down this wall, since you know, there's just there for reinforcement. So at the same time as this is going on, I have thrown a gateway down, and as this expo was cancelled, I noticed very clearly you need to pay attention to where that drone goes when that expo is cancelled, because as you can see, he did go down here, and I did notice that, and I brought a probe along here, and at this point he can't see a thing here. He does not know my probe's in here, so I'm going to be able to cannon this quite nicely. If we go to the Everyone tab, I'm going to be able to cannon this quite nicely and force another cancel, if not actually get this kill, because he can't see that it's here. Ideally, he would have needed an Overlord spotting this in order to be able to deal with it, because ultimately, if this does go down, he's wasted so much time, and he could have prevented this so easily by actually having a spotting Overlord there. He does have quite a few Zerglings coming out now, which could have probably fended this off had he noticed this. So yeah, for you Zergy players out there, if you're going to do this, try and get an Overlord to spot for things that are coming your way. So he's going to let this hatchery finish, no doubt, and I'm getting my Cybernetics core up. I am walling in with the Zealot and my Forge, etc, etc. It's always nice to have that Forge early on anyway, because you can get your +1 weapons, which I will be starting at some point. Throwing down a second cannon here, and I think I do start a third cannon, but I realise 3 cannons is a bit overkill. Probably won't need 3 cannons. So this hatchery is going to go down. He's probably panicking his ass off. He is going to be sending some lings up here to kill this cannon, and probably will kill this cannon at the sacrifice of quite a few lings. This drone is coming down here now to plant this hatchery. I do see this hatchery going down via the pylon vision. So I'm quite confident that I've delayed him pretty much quite enough. I just hate it. I absolutely hate Zergs who think that they can get away with expansion first, and on maps like Typhon Peaks it's really easy for them to get away with. In fact, on Typhon Peaks, once I've scouted my close position, I actually send that initial probe, that initial scout, up to the top left corner, or top right corner, depending on, or whatever corner depending on where I am, and then I actually send another scout out to try and find the Zerg to the last position, because I really hate Expo first, and if you do throw your Forge down in time and get your cannons up, you can effectively cancel it. That being said, that does lead to a lot of all-ins from Zergy, so do be prepared for that, as it can be extremely harmful to your play if they come in with an all-in, because Zerg all-ins are surprisingly strong, ultimately. So once again, I am Psylocked, and I am throwing down lots of gateways, thinking I can just quite easily walk over this with a 4-gate. He does have a few Zerglings down here, which he did manage to save from these eggs here, and he is looking like he's going to do something pretty drastic. He does have a Baneling nest down, so I don't see this Baneling nest yet, so we'll have to see how I react once that does actually come into play. He's pretty much kind of going for an all-in here. He's not really droning that heavily. He's only got 2 drones on the way here, but he's made a lot of Zerglings, and he is going for a lot of Banelings as well. So at this point, I do have these units out, because this once you've had like a Forge cannon delay of their base, etc., Zerg, again, as I said before, do generally go for a lot of aggression, and Banelings is one of the things that I've encountered a lot during doing this. So what I like to do is I like to have my sentries out in order to be able to fend this off, and we shall see what does go on here. He is bringing these Banelings up here. I was trying to lure them in. He doesn't fall for the bait. That's not a problem. He will need to move in at some point, but at the same time, at this point, he's really kind of got me in a corner. He could quite easily be doing whatever he wanted behind here, but he is going for pretty much an all-in. Yeah, he's got 10 Zerglings here coming out, and I'm just warping in more units to be able to fend this off. And so I do see the Banelings now, so I'm very, very ready for a Baneling bust. My camera at this point is poised over this area. As soon as these Banelings come in, I'm absolutely ready for them. They do come up the ramp, and one Zealot does get trapped in there, but as you can see, all the Banelings do die with very, very minimal losses. Perfect placement of force fields here. This is the exact force field placement that you do want in this situation. So he is making some Banelings back here, and this is one of the crucial kind of, I think, a bit of a mistake on my part. As you can see, the Banelings are morphing in, and what I should have done at this point was probably throw an arc of force fields around them, so I could have got more Zergling kills. That being said, though, if he had tried to do a Baneling bust right after that, maybe I wouldn't have had enough energy in case he did want to come on my ramp. So I'm two ways about that decision. I'm not too sure whether or not it was the best, but we shall see as the game progresses. It's, you know, winning is everything, so we shall see, we shall see. So he does have me pretty contained here. I really hate Banelings during PvZ. So what I generally do against Banelings in PvZ is grab some Archons, because Archons really... I keep coming back to Archons in my casts in PvZ, but I love Archons. And Archons just soak so much damage from the Banelings. It really is ridiculous. And also Zerglings just get crushed by Archons as well. So I am going to be throwing that Twilight Council down in anticipation to get Archons for this kind of mixture of units that he does have. But at the same time, I'm going to be putting on some aggression as well. And once we do actually get to that, I will switch to that camera angle, or switch to that area. So as you can see, I have warped in some units, and I'm using this pylon up in the top here in order to be able to send a few Zealots into his base, not only for scouting, because I want to see what's going on, I want to see if he has a lair, I want to see what other texture paths he's going, but I'm just sending it up to see if I can get some guaranteed damage out. So as soon as I get here, I'm thinking to myself, I really want to move away from this Spine Crawler. I do not want to be engaging anything here, so I kill the Zerglings as quickly as possible and move up into his base. This Queen is off creep, so I'm quite happy to go and try and kill this Queen as quickly as possible. I do get this Queen kill, and I'm going to be trying to get this other Queen as well, but he does have quite a few Zerglings coming out very soon, and he's doing a good job actually here at this point of kiting these Zealots. The Zealots really aren't getting any hits on it at all. I really should have paid more attention to this, and he is bringing a lot of Zerglings. He's going to be able to surround there and get those Zealot kills pretty easily. But at the same time, whilst I was in his base, I noticed he had absolutely no lair. He does have this Evo chamber out, but as I say, I noticed no Spine Crawlers, so I'm going to be able to throw down my DT Shrine, and I'm going to be able to hopefully do some DT harass, unless he gets his lair anytime soon. I'm pretty sure at this point, though, he's sticking with this Zergling Baneling like composition, because he's so committed to it right now. He really doesn't have that many drones, nothing really to be able to fund any kind of layer tech, a massive layer play at this point. I do have my +1 weapons going down, and as you can see, I've pretty much bust out of my base here at this point. So I'm thinking to myself, I really want to expand, and I was going to expand to here, but then I thought to myself, why not expand to here where the cannons already are for extra protection? So I'm going to be sending my probe over there to do some expanding, and I was quite happy with that decision, to be honest. Quite proud, but no, just pay no attention to me. And I do have quite a bit of Chrono Boost saved up here, not very good. And the things that I really wanted to take away from this game for myself personally was the fact that I was so high on this Chrono Boost, and I got Psylocked several times during the game, and that's something that you really cannot kind of afford to forget at all. So as you can see, I am warping 2 Dark Templar in there to be able to try and do some harass. I did warp a 3rd in as well. Yes, he's leading, and I'm going to be throwing down a pylon here to try and get a bit more cannon coverage, as these cannons aren't in exactly the best place, so I'm going to be warping some in here as well. So I am trying to move out in anticipation to aid my DTs in any damage that they do, and these Banelings are going to be coming up here, but at the same time I do have DTs in his base. He's trying to kill as many things off as possible, and botched force fields there, but at the same time, you know, I hate Baneling when you don't have things like Archons. Not too bad force fields here, trapping my units in order to be able to kill as many of these units as possible, but ultimately I have lost way too much. I don't have enough ranged units, and he's going to be able to crush through here pretty convincingly. But at the same time, it's a pretty even trade. Well, not really an even trade, actually. I pretty much lost that battle with monumental style. And as you can see here, my DTs are harassing his base. He does have a Spore Crawler going up, so he has reacted to the DT play properly, and he has got a layer morphing in. And I noticed that he's got this layer morphing in as well as this Spore Crawler, so I warped in 3 more DTs in order to be able to try and finish this off as quickly as possible. He doesn't have the gas for an Overseer, so he couldn't morph an Overseer in, and ultimately a Spore Crawler was... the demise of the Spore Crawler did come eventually. So at this point, I'm pretty sure that he has nothing left, and I'm preparing for, once again, another all-in. I have walled myself in here with a pylon, but these Banelings could do a considerable amount of damage. So I do get force fields down, not the best force fields, I must admit. My eyes weren't really paying attention to this ramp at this point. I was trying to kill as much as possible with the DTs. So again, I really should have focused more on this area. I'm trying to wall in here with a gateway and a pylon. The pylon does go down from that last Baneling, and a lot of Zerglings do get in here. I'm pretty much very confident here at this point that I've already won the game, but I'm just trying to fend off his last attack in order to be able to secure the victory. So he's going to be trying to come around here and kill off as many probes as possible, but I'm just going to bring some Zealots around. I probably should have warped... Oh, I did warp in a DT, since he has absolutely no detection. My DTs are running around here. The only thing that stands between me and victory is this one Spore Crawler, but it does indeed go down, and I am victorious. Not a bad transfuse there, but DTs just do way too much damage, especially with +1 weapons, 50 damage as opposed to 45. So, yeah, I mean... yeah, that was just my analysis of this game. I watched back the replay and was interested in general, as it wasn't your typical ladder game or whatever. So hopefully I should be promoted to Masters soon. I am beating Masters players left and right, and I can't believe I haven't been promoted yet. Go and check my records if you do not believe me. And yeah, thank you for watching this, guys, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, stay tuned for an epic game between Hook and Hairy Zenith, which was streamed on his channel, and the replay hasn't been released until just now. Okay, bye for now. Bye.